Good morning. It's great to see you face to face over the few days again, and new faces face to face, and also joy to be not on my own from the Czech Republic. And maybe some of you met Monica. Monica actually is based in Scotland, working with Friends International, but she's on our board and I think passionate about proclamation. So say hello to her if you haven't done yet. And like other movements during pandemic, we lost approximately half of the groups, and those who remained, we lost half of the people in the groups. So it was tough, but we did try to do something online, so something called Mission Spring. So we organized online talks and made the advantage of not having to pay for travels, and invited people who it would be difficult to invite. And so sorry that for being Czech, but we invited Peter Robinson from Cambridge, the scientist who was involved in inventing webcam, talking about his attitude to science and his faith. We had Simon Collin, whom I got to meet in Sevenoaks during my sabbatical. He's very passionate about evangelism, but he's very shy and never gave a talk. This was the first time he gave a talk. He's a chief designer of the Ford cars, and he was talking about what design means to him. And he gave wonderful testimony. He talked about the history of Ford cars, he talked about design, and he talked about what design means to him. So that was great. We had Slavko talking about his story, and also Tomas Pientak, another person who gave a talk for the first time. He's a Czech lawyer working for Johnson & Johnson, and he actually manages the whole worldwide compliance. So he heads up the department, the anti-corruption department for Johnson & Johnson. And he was talking about what it means to be working in that era as a Christian, and what moral standards he has and why. So that was great. So he also gave talk for the first time. One of our very, very first students involved in our movement many years ago, maybe 25 years ago, Romana, she now teaches at Faculty of Architecture, landscape architecture, and so we encourage her to give talk on landscape and trees, and she tied it with gospel talk referring to trees in the Bible. There's quite a few trees in the Bible, and it was great. So it was actually a great opportunity for some people who would maybe never come to give a talk because they would be too shy, but they did using this. So it was really great. Sometimes it was attended by 5 students, sometimes 100 students, and like in other movements, we had really little follow-up. So although we did have Bible study straight after the talk, sometimes it was just one person, 2, sometimes none, and we really it was mostly Christians, so it was difficult to follow up. But a lot of sowing, we wait reaping. We did pray, and we were very nervous how this semester will start, because of the because of the small numbers of the people, and the training for student leaders, which normally takes place in September and has around 30 students, had only 7. So you can imagine how nervous we were when the semester was about to start in October. But this is group in Brno. Before pandemic, it was 12 people, and 3 met for prayer. This is 27 people, and the next at the first meeting, and the next Thursday met 17 people for prayer for their friends. So there was huge encouragement that God was really restarting something. And not every group is like that. So this is the group in Ostrava. So yeah, the There's the total number of students involved. And we did a really search for them. So we did approach pastors, we contacted youth groups, but really just this bold and courageous Andrzej, who, by the way, attended online foyer last year and couldn't make it this year, but very much hoping to bring him next time. So he really was prepared to do something. So we did something. What we did was that we handed out about 600 flyers inviting students to Pizza with the Bible, giving them snacks like a muesli bar. And on the other side of the invite for the Pizza with the Bible was snack talk invite. Now I know that it looks a little bit like an invitation to a horror movie. That's what my wife told me, and she's right. Yeah, it's. I shouldn't really do much graphic design. But basically, it was really an experiment. Basically, we tried to invite, because it's difficult to organize something inside because of restrictions. So we invited them to watch a gospel talk live. The title was "What Nobody Told You About Christianity." And at 2, 3, and 4 p.m., we always stood in front of the faculties, or particular faculty, and gave live talk where people could, using their mobile phone, just watch it live. So we took, so it was over a couple of days, so we gave 6 talks with the same title. We alternated with Andrzej, and some people connected. We discovered that actually a lot more connected, pointing to the QR code, but less actually watched it. We used the Jitsi platform, and we discovered that maybe it's not the best platform, because when they discovered that it's kind of a Zoom-like platform, they just quit. However, there were some people who watched it actually on the outside, who were just around us. And so I think we took some lessons that we might pre-record it next time. So we think we will still try to do that in other places as well. And 2 weeks ago was the first Pizza with the Bible, and 4 non-Christians came. And Andrzej is there on his own. I sometimes come over. It's 4 hours traveling from my town, but I go every other week. So pray for Andrzej. Pray for more Christians to join him, so that he has a team. It's not just on his own. So that's a massive prayer. Pray for those 4 who have already come twice to the Bible study. Uncover John, and also pray for other cities to be open, because we are one of those countries who have tried Mission Week twice. It was when we had foyer in Prague a couple of times. That was great. We had great events, kick-off events with John Lennox and others. Unfortunately, some groups developed the idea that this is the only type of Mission Week. So the suggestion to do something smaller was not so well received and accepted. But the sweet thing about student ministry is that, it can be disadvantaged that the memory is short, but in this case it was an advantage, because now we have a new generation of students who don't remember these big events, and we can start from scratch with small events. So we hope to have it in 2 different places, and in fact 2 other students in Brno and in Prague decided to do this, so pray for them as well, Brno and Prague. And I've got a few stories of people becoming Christian for the next maybe 15 minutes, so bear with me. In the middle is Tom. He came to a lecture given a couple of years ago by Bruce Gillingham, How to Survive Exam Time, and we gave him Mark's Gospel at the end of the talk, challenging him to read it in the holiday destination where he was going the next day, which was Israel. And he was going with his Christian friend, and his Christian friend regularly asked him, "So, how is it going? What do you think of it?" And I said, No, I will never become a Christian. It's a nice fairy tale, but I will not become a Christian. And he kept asking him 10 days in Israel, and still, one day before the departure, still not becoming Christian. On the plane, he finished the last page, Mark 16, and so his friend asked him, so what do you think now? And he just closed it and said, yes, it's true. Jesus really rose from the dead. He died for my sins. It was like, yes, that's for sure. And he now studies in Prague. By the way, he was an A-level student at that time. He now studies at the Faculty of Economics, and he is the one who is keen to do the mini-mission week, the snack talk week. So pray for him as well, Tom. There's a few others. The left top corner, I'm there with another Tom who became Christian through the online Bible studies that we did through the pandemic. But I don't have time to tell the whole story. But come to me, ask me for more. But thank you so much for prayers and for your support.